Podium Publishing presents Love Letters of Great Men, written by John C. Kirkland, read by Chris Patton. Forward. The Poet Warrior. For millennia, the poet warrior has been the archetype of the romantic hero. Powerful but sensitive, dangerous but caring, brilliant but misunderstood. From Ulysses to Indiana Jones, every man wants to be him and every woman wants to be with him. Despite the prevalence of this ideal, many believe the poet warrior exists only in the realm of fiction. In truth, as you may glean from reading the compilation of love letters gathered here, some of history's greatest leaders have shown, at least to those they care the most about, that they too have the soul of a poet. Real men are much more astonishing than avatars. Napoleon is universally known as a superb military tactician, but he also led the archaeological expedition that discovered the ancient Rosetta Stone. The brilliant romantic poet Lord Byron commanded the Greek revolutionary forces against the Ottoman Turks. Goethe not only wrote the classic Faust, he discovered the intermaxillary bone in the human jaw that inspired Darwin's theory of evolution. The poet warrior is everywhere. Since before the Watchers of the Sky created Stonehenge, Khufu conceived the Great Pyramid, or the first farmer toiled in the cage of fields. Closer to the time glacial ice still covered their lands than to today, the Fianna of Eire lived as hunters and warriors, men who could be called upon for the protection of the kingdom in time of need. Young nobility who had yet to inherit their land or fortune, these early Gaelic poets survived by hunting for food and furs. Though forced by circumstance to live mostly outside society, they mingled comfortably among aristocrats. One who demonstrated sufficient skill with words by the telling of tales of honor and glory, recitation of poems of love and loss, or singing of odes of leitmotif and meditation, may be invited to face the trials and prove his worth to join this druidic coalition of clans. Hair ceremonially braided, he would run a gauntlet of his fellows through the thick forest. A single twig snapping underfoot or mere hair out of place, resulting in failure. Buried to his waist in peat with only a wooden shield to protect him, the slightest drop of blood caused by any of the 9 spears thrust upon him, meaning he would never have a chance to help defend the defenseless in battle. At least, that's what they told the ladies that night. Their ancient motto has been adopted by the Special Forces of the Army Ranger Wing, the Republic of Ireland's premier hostage rescue unit. Glynjar Groy, purity of our hearts. Nart arn geig, strength of our limbs. Bart jurer arm brier, deeds to match our words. History is replete with examples of those who lead by example, with wisdom, courage, and love, guided by reflection and empathy, using their minds to accomplish what their hearts know to be true. Tolstoy ended the lives of many men at the end of a cannon or the point of a sword, before writing the words that inspired a generation of non-violent resistance that changed the world. The legendary stories of the Garden of Gethsemane may be the apogee of the poet warrior, simultaneously the highest conceivable levels of both courage and compassion. Like the Tao, the true poet warrior is subtle and quiescent, circumventing attempts to force his way, simultaneously passionate and indifferent, nurturing and giving wholly of himself to each who comes across his path. Like a first-growth Bordeaux, he is deep and complex, rich and balanced, dedicated to both the intellect and the corpus, the field of study and the field of battle. He exemplifies the way of the warrior, from the Analects of Confucius and the Bushido code of the samurai.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?